You know, things have got to be bad at the border when even the Secretary of Circling Back is calling it a crisis. But at the same time, she realized that she made a mistake and had to walk that back because you can't really shatter that narrative. You got to be able to figure out a perfect way to disguise what's actually going on by just bringing it back to racism, and let's talk about some shit that has nothing to do with it and how can white men be blamed. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki walked back her description of the migrant crisis on the border as a crisis on Thursday. During a White House press briefing, Psaki specifically used the phrase crisis on the border during a discussion about diplomatic relations with Mexico and the flood of migrants coming to the United States, even as she and top White House officials have repeatedly claimed there is no crisis at the border. How would they know? Biden's not going down there. The top officials in his cabinet, to my knowledge, are just telling ICE and Department of Homeland Security to just let people go. Don't even bother testing them. Charge them with illegally crossing the border, and then, just promise them amnesty down the road. Or, you know what, just come back whenever you want, and we'll try you whenever this whole COVID thing cleans up, and we get the courts back, and just make sure you write your name down there, Jose, and we'll get back to you. Oh, you just about left your iPhone charger. Don't forget that. We know that you're escaping a war-torn country, apparently, and you have no better place to go. But make sure you collect all your belongings and bring along your child who looks nothing like you. But how about a guy who's actually on the border? Okay, how about Greg Abbott? Governor Greg Abbott, he's been pretty solid when it comes to removing restrictions, when it comes to the COOF and being on top of the lack of security. The number of immigrants illegally crossing America's southern border will grow 100-fold in the future. Governor Abbott asserted late Wednesday this is just the very beginning of what's going on. To be a massive expansion of the number of people coming across the border, it will grow 10-fold and 100-fold, especially because of the way Biden administration has handled this. During an interview segment with Sean Hannity, remember during the presidential campaign when all the candidates said we want open borders? Yes, the Democratic primary field said that. At the same time, also mentioning that free healthcare would be coming. I believe the very question was, raise your hand if you support healthcare for undocumented immigrants. And every single person on the debate stage raised their hand. They were planning this. It didn't matter who was going to be successful in the primaries. All of this stuff was going to happen regardless of who was up there. Well, guess what? Biden has provided those open borders. He's inviting everybody in, and the floodgates are now open, and Texas is at the forefront of it. Well, there's plenty of space in Texas and Arizona. You know what else? How about take a bunch of that $1.9 trillion COVID stimulus? You know, the one that has 91% of it to be going to causes that have nothing to do with COVID stimulus. No, barely any recovery money. Most of it's going to be sent overseas, and the remainder of it is heading down to South America. How about those countries who are the benefactors of the redistribution of taxpayer money? Use it to improve your country. No, you just want to ship out everybody who you don't want. I understand. God, remember how this wasn't a problem not but 4 months ago? Okay, border wall was just about done. Illegal immigrants were being stopped at a record level. Things were seemingly going well. And the Department of Homeland Security at the time, Chad Wolf, was living up to his name. But now there's a new guy in charge. And that would be Mayorkas. And he is anything but a border hawk. And now you got old puppet-faced Lindsey Graham calling him out, saying that he's lost control and that he should already resign from his post because he's not doing the job. Senator Lindsey Graham became the first GOP senator to suggest that Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas resign in the midst of a surge of illegal border crossers. It is clear to me that the Biden administration has lost control of the border under its current leadership. It doesn't have either the will or capability to fix the problem, Graham said in a statement Thursday. It is time for the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas to change course or change jobs. Tough talk. On Wednesday, Mayorkas testified in front of Congress about a surge and defended the White House's response to the situation while refusing to call it a crisis, as Republicans and some Democratic lawmakers have asserted. Well, and even the press secretary said that it was a crisis. And the people who are down at the border can see the people coming in, and your detention camps that you just opened are something like 700% over capacity. But that's, no, definitely not a crisis whatsoever. We're in the process of getting it set up. Don't leave your town or city or community, he said. That's what Biden told all of the people already on their way here. Like, what, did you think the 11,000 people that you already released in, we're just going to turn tail and run back because Uncle Joe made a nice play to them, to his friend Stephanopoulos on ABC? Like, I don't get it. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing anymore. Well, they do. That's the problem, because they're just trying to funnel in new votes. It's plain and simple. Been walking this line for years, just about decades at this point. One man put a stop to it. He had his enforcement teams follow through on stopping the flood of illegal immigrants. And then with a couple of pen strokes, that was all undone. And people wonder why it doesn't seem like there's any change in society since the early 90s. Christ, I was going to give it 10 years of leeway, because the exact same stuff just keeps happening over and over and over again. Honestly, if you think that that's not true, just you tell me the difference between the mid 2000s and right now. Design-wise, musically, movies. Like, when did the first Iron Man come out? 2006? You can't tell me that that's a whole hell of a lot different than what that final Avengers movie. It's basically the same thing. What's the newest IP that's out there? Like, what's the new franchise that comes out for movies? It's all just remakes and rehashes. All of this stuff is exactly the same over and over and over again. There's nothing new. Nothing changes. All the same problems are going to be there, because if you elect government officials to fix problems, they'd be working themselves out of a job. It happens on the right, it happens on the left. And everybody thinks that illegal immigrants that come into the country are immediately going to help Democrats. Republicans know this. Republicans see this. And now they're trying to benefit from this. Okay? They're making some kind of a Hail Mary pass, and I seen this and I wanted to throw up, because it involves this man right here, the chief RINO. Okay? Lindsey Graham, House Republicans promote amnesty for illegal aliens amid border crisis. This is not a joke. That's why I gave a warning. The moment Lindsey Graham started to say, oh, the GOP is still the party of Donald Trump. Oh, the GOP is going to back Trump 100%. He has my support. I'm such a big fan. It's all horseshit. Be careful of these people. You're going to notice a couple other names that are on this as well. Senator Lindsey Graham, along with a group of House Republicans led by Representative Maria Salazar from Florida. That'll be wildly popular, because that's a reason why the Hispanic community swung for Donald Trump during the 2020 election, because Cubans and Venezuelans that are in Florida don't like illegal immigration. Okay? They came over, they seen the horrors from the country, and they don't want the people that are coming over and hopping the fence, bringing their shitty fucking policies along with them. Oh, but what are they doing? Well, they're promoting an amnesty plan for illegal aliens living in the United States as border crossing skyrockets at the U.S.-Mexico border. It's just dumb. Okay? I realize that the flow of illegality is not going to stop anytime soon, so yeah, might as well get in while the getting's good. During a press conference on Wednesday, Salazar unveiled an amnesty plan that would provide green cards to illegal aliens enrolled and eligible for former President Obama's Deferred Action and Childhood Arrivals, the DACA program. Ugh. And gives work visas to roughly 11 to 22 million illegal aliens in the United States as job numbers plummet. You bring in people that are going to undercut the Americans that are already here and already out of work. You are literally creating an economic disaster by doing this. The full list of RINOs goes as follows. Senator Lindsey Graham, Representative David Villando of California. Makes sense. Mario Diaz-Balart of Florida. Fred Upton, who also voted for impeachment, of Michigan. Burgess Owens of Utah. Fucking moron. Blake Moore and John Curtis, also of Utah. Carlos Jimenez of Florida. Brian Fitzpatrick of Pennsylvania, and Claudia Tenney of New York. A lot of those states will never feel the brunt of this. California, they don't care. Florida, that's just betraying your base. Michigan, you aren't running again. Utah, Pennsylvania, New York, don't care, because it won't affect you. All you're trying to do is just appeal kind. It's retarded. Specifically, the amnesty dubbed the dignity proposal. Oh, what have I said before? Whenever something is named like that, it never proposes to actually do anything that it says it's going to. The Patriot Act, the example. What did it do? It made sure that patriots had fewer freedoms. The dignity proposal, what does that do? It'll incidentally create more homelessness. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't necessarily scream dignity to me. It would give a legal resident status to anywhere from 1.5 to 3.5 million illegal aliens who are enrolled and eligible for DACA. Eventually, these illegal aliens can apply for green cards and obtain American citizenship. And in the meantime, bring up the rest of their fucking wretched family. Yeah, I didn't say it would be good, and didn't say that this would be positive. This is just what's happening right now. And stop voting for these assholes. Every single one of them. You can see them right here. If you live in California, Florida, Michigan, Utah, Pennsylvania, or New York, and those are your representatives. Lindsey Graham's not up for election for another 6 years anyway, so unless he retires, it's not going to happen. And hopefully he doesn't pull the wool over people's eyes again. Authoritarians won't be happy until everybody's just on the government tit, and there is no freedom out there. So you have to continue to call it out. And you have to continue to do your part, because it's only going to continue to get worse. Borders are going to get kicked open even wider, and more rights will be curtailed from you under the guise of sexism and racism. Literally, you can see on the sidebar, Biden, a woman should be presumed to be telling the truth. Obviously, right? Because everybody who says anything is always telling the truth at all times, right? Or the celebrities continuing to pour out because they think that, oh, Biden won in 2020, therefore our opinion suddenly matters all of a sudden. Yeah, the retard in Atlanta shot up those massage parlors because he's anti-Asian, even though he specifically said that he's just a coomer who needed to remove temptation from himself. Too bad he wasn't addicted to the taste of a shotgun barrel. All I can say is just do your part. Know the facts, know the problems, do what you can with them. That said, after this, we're going to focus on one good Republican out there. Trust me, there are some. It's not just this cabal of RINO retards. There is a couple of good ones out there. So I think we'll end on a good note, an up note today. And with that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.